to The Executive's View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille and Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is The Executive's View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Executive's View. This is the view from on top. You could be anywhere in the world here on a Tuesday night, but you're here with the executives, and I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify. We're doing big things in big places, and definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. I don't do this by myself. I got a slew of brothers that are sitting here ready to go talk everything around the world of sports. My co-host is in the building, Barry DeVille and Jordan. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Villain, I'm in the building. If I need everybody to feel me with no hands, we here, man. Let's have some fun, man. We got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about, man. It's going to be a great show. I can't wait to chop it up with everybody here in the building. Larry's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Yo, what's the deal, fellas, man? Hey, look, it's a wonderful time to be alive, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Wonderful time.
Wonderful time. Yo, I did want to ask you at the outskirts of this thing. Y'all got smacked with some snow last week, man. How'd you guys do all right?
Yeah, man, we came out good, man. You know, hey, I think they did some upgrades around here to say, you know what, we might not just need to be prepared for these hurricanes. We might need to be prepared for some snow too. So, you know, it was cool, man. The kids, they was able to go outside and play. You know, I saw people posting all kinds of stuff with, you know, making snowmen and snowball fights and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
I had some friends in Florida, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, got some snow. So I was watching their videos or whatever, kind of doing the same thing. So it was weird.
It's actually kind of crazy because, man, it's like the third time it like actually snowed in Houston since I've been alive, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is real crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Last but not least, CK Chandler's in the building. Hopefully his Wi-Fi is working with him. CK, can you check in with me, man? How we doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm better now. I don't know what's going on. It's not the Wi-Fi. It's the laptop. It's the laptop is trash. Because I broke my primary laptop, and this is the backup. And you know, it was like an old Saturday afternoon kung fu flick where the guy said, "Oh, you hurt my father." You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Not the kung fu, not the kung. Yo, that's good, man. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you got settled all in where you need to be, man. Looking forward to, you know, upward and onward for you. With that being said, man, I'm not gonna waste anybody's time, man. We got a lot to talk about. Part of me wants to start in basketball, but I can't, you know, start the show without talking about the championship matchups, both the NFC and the AFC. The AFC, I'm gonna say that for last. This NFC matchup kind of played out exactly as I thought it would. But I wanted to give you gentlemen an opportunity to kind of talk about it, you know, kind of lament how you felt about it. You know, I got a Giants fan in the building. I'm going to let him bat lead off, man. Talk to me, my guy. How you feel? Although I know the answer to that question.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is basically how we thought it would be. Jaden Daniels is super talented, but he can't overcome the fact that his defense can't stop the run. And I think it was 6 rushing touchdowns that they had in that game.
7.
Yeah, 7. So they can't stop the run. And the Eagles are one of the best rushing teams in the league. So there's not much you can do at that point, right? Saquon Barkley from the jump really got things going on the Eagles side. I thought the first drive was for the Commanders was a desperate drive in some respects. Like they knew they had to get a touchdown. They did everything in their power. and they settled for a field goal. I mean, they went
Mhm.
for it on fourth down a couple of times, and they just really couldn't get it moving, right? So,
Right.
once that happened, it was Saquon off to the races. And honestly, you guys know, like I know, we've seen it for years. You can't take care of the ball in the playoffs, you're not going to win in the playoffs. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what happened. You can't stop the run, and you don't take care of the football, you get 50 some points hung up on you, and that's exactly what happened. So, Commanders had a great season. They have nothing to be ashamed of. I think they overachieved and to get to the point where they were, to get into the playoffs and get to the NFC Championship game. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason. I still think they need a little bit of veteran leadership, a little bit
Mhm.
more, but they need horses on the defensive side that can stop the run, mainly on the defensive line, and then probably in the secondary they need a little help there as well. But the Eagles are, they're playing the best football in the NFC. I thought the Lions would be a Super Bowl team, but they were too banged up. The Eagles are right behind them. Their defense, last year, and I'll hang it on this. Last year, their defense, was really bad, giving about 24 points a game. This year, they're giving about 17 points a game. That's the difference in this Eagles team from last year, and what they were doing when they went to the Super Bowl, and what they're doing this year with Carter and company. It's a different squad. They run the ball. They play defense. Got to give Sirianni some credit. He gets maligned a lot in Philadelphia, but all he's done is taken him to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this around the building. Before I do that, Coach is into the building. What's going on, Coach? How we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. They got to stop scheduling these Rockets games on Tuesday night.
Or you can not watch a Rockets game like
What?
everybody else in the world.
Whoa.
That's like saying
Whoa.
not watching a Knicks game.
Yeah, so don't watch
Yeah,
the
but
Knicks
we're the
then.
Knicks.
Yeah,
We are the New
yeah,
York Knicks.
yeah.
We are
Don't
the New
watch the
York
Knicks.
Knicks.
Yeah, but
Bingo.
anyway, oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. But anyway, yeah, like I'm here, like sitting around watching the Rockets. Forgot it was Tuesday night. It was like it's just Rockets
Yeah,
above
yeah.
Damn
all.
Rockets fans.
Yeah, that's
Hmm
how we get
Yeah,
down.
maybe
That's
might
how we
do a
get down
show
right
of
now.
Rockets fans.
That's how we get down. But before we get too way off the sidetrack, man. Since you're the last one in, Coach, I'll let you go next, man. This Commanders Eagles game was kind of over before it got started, if you ask me. You go down, kick a field goal, the first play from scrimmage, Saquon 75, oops upside your head, and the route is on, if you will. How'd you feel? How'd you feel that game unfolded?
Well, it's funny because it's like you go on that like that long like drawn out drive. You go for it on fourth down a couple times, and you just get a field goal. And after that, I'm just like, oh boy. And me just joking, I'm like, man, if Philly comes back and score a touchdown, then it's just like, wow, you did all that for nothing. And I didn't think Saquon was gonna bust a long one, but then it's like, as Saquon is like running into the end zone, I'm like, well, that was fun, Washington. You know what I'm saying? We've had a blast, didn't we? We made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. We're way ahead of schedule. This is fun, ain't it?
Mm,
But they ended up. It's just it seems like almost like it was almost like a Wile E. Coyote and like the Roadrunner type thing, where it's like just when it seems like the Commanders were getting it going, an anvil would drop on their damn head. It
Mhm.
was just like just mistakes. Just it's the
mm,
the youth and inexperience came out at the absolute wrong time.
yeah.
You just saw being able to execute when you needed to. And I mean, and the Eagles are good. Let's not take anything away from the Eagles. The Commanders made a ton of mistakes, but the Eagles are really good. And this is
Yes.
going to be their second Super Bowl in 3 years. And like to piggyback on what Barry was saying, it's like I hear it here from I hear it everywhere. It's like Sirianni gets a lot of grief when things go wrong, and honestly, not enough credit when things go well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave that at that. Because he's a guy who like he's a very polarizing figure even within Eagles fans. 'Cause I know a lot of Eagles fans, so it's just like it's very weird how like you talk to one group of Eagles fans and they love him, and then the other group of Eagles fans is like, he's a clown, whatever. But yeah, big up to the Commanders. They're way ahead of schedule. They need again, something like this. Now you never want to lose, but for a young team like this, it's like, okay, all right, we made it. Like we got a taste of it. We got so close. Hopefully, this springboards them, and then now the previous ownership would look at this and bring in a bunch of old Asian guys and just try to make a bunch of big moves and stuff like that. I hope that this regime, with their commanders, looks at this team like, look, we don't need much. We just need this here, this there, this here. They just need pieces. They don't need an overhaul. The Commanders just need pieces. I'm interested to see what they do. This is a very important offseason for them because, again, why Daniels is cheap, why he's still on that rookie deal. You got your quarterback, DC. So why he's still cheap. Definitely, this is the time to strike while the iron is hot and don't just like remain stagnant. As for the Eagles, again, as they move on to Super Bowl, and we can talk about the Super Bowl. Like we got 2 weeks to talk about the Super Bowl, but it's like the Eagles as far as this game. Jalen Hurts again. People use the term game manager like a bad thing, but it's like, look, if you manage the game, if you don't make mistakes, if you run the offense and run the ball, and the Eagles run the ball and they run it like nobody has ever ran it recently, and yeah, the way they're running the ball is just it's old school football, and I for one love it. But I think they're gonna have to be a little bit more vertical. And you saw it. You saw like that number 11 guy, AJ Brown. You throw the ball his direction, he catches it quite often. So it's like
Mhm.
they integrate him more. Maybe he won't be reading as much on the sidelines if he got more action on the field. But so I like what the Eagles are doing. They have been, I feel like them and the Lions were the teams in the NFC. And as Barry said, like the injuries just mounted up so much for the Lions. Where
Yeah.
they were limping into the playoffs. And so interesting to see what they do moving forward. But like as far as the Eagles, they have been for me, they've been complete. They have to get some balance though as we move forward to the big game down in New Orleans. They have to be balanced. I don't think the Chiefs will allow them to run the ball the way they ran it against the Commanders. So we'll see.
It's funny you mentioned balance. That's something I'm gonna touch on here in a minute. But before I go, CK man, talk to me, man. This NFC Championship game kind of unfolded in the manner in which a lot of people thought it would. Man, how'd you feel?
Um, you know what? You can't really take anything away from what the Commanders did. Um,
Mhm.
they had a great season. We knew it was going to come to an end at some point. Honestly, I didn't think they'd beat Philly, but I really wanted them to.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to criticize anything about game plan or mistakes. Listen, man, this was a team that was supposed to win what, maybe 5 games,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
five
oh
games.
yeah.
Six at the
You
most,
know,
right?
I mean, if you can name five players on the offensive side of the ball besides Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, you're a real Commanders fan. Okay, just
I'm
can't
not a
nobody else
Commanders
do it.
fan, but I get paid by 'em from time to time. So
You know. So as far as that game, and listen, man, Saquon Barkley, bro, come on, son. Listen, I love Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson had an MVP season. Saquon Barkley's got to be the MVP. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. I'm talking MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, Offensive Lineman of the Year. All of the awards go to Saquon Barkley. Period. End of story.
My man said offensive lineman
General
of the year.
manager, coach, all of it. That Philly team is something else. And I don't know, how do you really stop them? Really, how you stop them? Because you say, okay, get to Jalen Hurts. You just gotta hand the ball off. That's it. You can sack Jalen Hurts 20 times in that game. If Saquon Barkley gets the ball 10 times, he's going to score at least 3 of those times. That's 21 points right there. And if the Philly defense is on, I thought the game turned out the way it was supposed to as far as Philly winning. I didn't see 55 points. I didn't see 55 points. You know, so and the other game was the other game. I don't think anybody shocked what happened in the other game.
We'll get
So
there in a minute. We'll get there in a second. We'll get
yeah,
there in a
but
second.
this listen, Dan Quinn. I've given Dan Quinn a lot of grief. Okay, 28-3. I've given him a lot of grief. 28-3. A lot of grief. 28-3. Maybe he learned something 28-3 from that game, and maybe he understands that when you have an opportunity to beat a team, you got to put your foot on their neck and not let them up. So we're gonna find out next year, I think, how good this team can really be. When they get tape on Jade and everything else. But man, this season for the Commanders was magical, and you know what? All you can say is as hats off to them. I'm more. This game for me was more about the Commanders than the Eagles. And that's the way I look at it.
I can respect it.
One thing I want to double click on, serious, before you go to Larry. One thing that, Zach, you brought up. Do you understand that the Commanders have the third most cap space going into this offseason?
91 million.
About 91 million. So This is a big offseason for them, Coach, right? Like, I think you're on mute.
Oh yeah. I'm muted. Yeah. So I want to say, so it's like, again, this, like, baseball's coming up. For years and years and years. We'll talk about the Mets. The Mets spent money. That's not a thing. Spending the right money on the right pieces. That's what's important.
That's right.
And again, so it's like, so for the Commanders, spend the right money on the right pieces. That's what they got to do.
Right.
Yeah. That's something that's being talked about a lot here in the Metro. Before I go,
what are they saying?
Honestly, first and foremost, they're kind of lamenting and talking about what the season that was. Again, everybody had this team picking in the top 10, myself included. Even with the new regime coming in, we felt as though they were a couple years away. Nobody expected them to get to where they got and play in the manner in which they did. So they're really, really high optimistic. Obviously, you mourn the loss because you had an opportunity to advance and get to a Super Bowl. But now their focus has totally shifted. They're calling Washington a destination place now. They're calling Washington a place where free agents can come and actually see success. Cliff Kingsbury today turned down the Saints job, and as well, he's taken his name away from being interviewed for other head coaching candidates because he wants to stay here in Washington. Dan Quinn has seemed to find a mixture and a chemistry that works. And to your point, Coach, they do need to get younger on the defensive line. So we're looking at, people here are looking at possible defensive line free agents and, secondary help, trying to address other needs. They need a wide receiver too. T.
Higgins.
T. Higgins is a name that's getting thrown out all over the place. I mean, if T. Higgins lands there, it's crazy. They've also been linked. They've also been linked to Garrett Wilson possibly getting moved there. So this Washington Commanders team has a bunch of money to spend, and now they, according to what I'm hearing and reading from the talking heads here in the Metro, they are now a attractive location. They are now the sexy, the hot pick, the hot place to land because now you got the rookie quarterback. Now you got the dysfunctional owner out the building. Now you've taken a team that didn't expect to compete and you ran them all the way to the NFC Championship and, a couple of things go your way. You may have won the damn thing. So out here in the Metro, things are looking very, very bright for Commanders and their fans. Since I'm talking, Larry, I'll let you go here in a minute. This game really did unfold in the manner in which I thought it would unfold. Again, with all the wonderful things I just said about the Commanders, this Philadelphia Eagles team was on a mission. They were pissed off because they lost to them a couple weeks ago up here in the Metro. Jalen Hurts got knocked out. They had a big lead. And they let the Commanders crawl themselves back into this ball game and steal one from them. So this, I don't want to say it was personal because it was a divisional matchup, but this felt personal. And the way that the game unfolded, it was just like that. The defense of the Philadelphia Eagles played inspired ball. The offense for the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time in almost 2.5 months was clicking on all cylinders. They can run it, they can throw it. Sirianni didn't get in the way. It was just a masterclass of coaching and a masterclass of performance all the way around. On the flip side, again, back to my initial point, if you're the Washington Commanders, once again, don't hang your hat. Don't hang your head. You competed, you played well. You saw that the spotlight was not too big for Jaden Daniels. I was very, 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 very proud and very, very happy for Terry McLaurin, a guy who's been there through all the nonsense and all the dark years. And he seems like he's finally happy to be playing ball again. So it was a very, 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 very interesting game. Larry, before we flip it over to the other game, how did you feel about this game? How did it unfold for you, sir?
Oh man, you know what, dude? The Commanders got their ass whooped. I'm just be blunt, bro. They got their ass whooped. But you know what? Sometimes, I'm a boxing fan, man, and sometimes it's how you respond from that ass whooping. And sometimes you need that ass whooping, right? Like you'll watch a boxer, and this dude may have gotten beat, or he may have lost his by knockout or something like that. But then he pick himself off the mat and come back. So I'm gonna just say that the Commanders they got their ass whooped, but I feel like they're gonna pick themselves up and they're gonna come back. This was a learning lesson for them. This was a hey, what do we need to improve on going into next season? I mean, no rookie quarterback has ever made it to a Super Bowl, and we kind of all knew that what was gonna happen. But I'll take it like this, right? And I never passed up my opportunity to shoot my slugs, right? How about them Cowboys? Everybody talked all that shit about Kellen Moore. Oh, Kellen Moore don't run the ball enough. Oh, Kellen Moore, his play calling is bad. You know who the OC is? You know who ran that ball? You know who? Hey, you know who the head coach of Washington is? Yeah, seems real funny. All these Cowboys assistants are thriving now. Yeah. Feel free to get out of Jerry land, and you can have a little bit more freedom, a little bit more flexibility to do what you want to do.
In his defense, he does have the best running back in the game. I will give him that.
Hey! All I'm gonna say is we're gonna go to this next game, but I'm gonna just say that hey, Kellen Moore took a lot of shit. He took a lot of shit. Dan Quinn took a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. And both of them have turned this around. Like I said, I think Washington they're gonna address these needs that they need to fill. They definitely got to get some run stoppers. They got to get some run stoppers. Work on that secondary a little bit. We'll see. I mean, the Washington actually got some really good pieces over there. People always talk about Jay Daniels, but hey, I like Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson actually has had a really good season. Mm-hmm. Your boy McLaren. McLaren had a good season. Mm-hmm. They got some offensive pieces that some body maybe not a T Higgins, but maybe somebody a little bit lower. They may say, you know what, let me go play in Washington because I was a really good number two. I could be a really good number two on a better team over there. So, like I said, they got their ass whooped, but they can like you said keep their head up. The Eagles, bro. Remember what I said on the show? I say, man, Saquon is that neutralizer. I say, man, every time you think you got it, here comes Saquon, and Saquon like, nah, hold my beer. Hey, he bust that first run. You could just look at that Washington team, and they was like, oh shit, it's gonna be one of them.
Here we go, one of them games,
one of them days. Hey, all that he was missing was the jumping backwards over somebody's head, man. And like I said, Barry, I know how you feel about the Giants and how you feel about Saquon, but yeah, dude, you give that dude that offensive line. Like I said, it was like it's watching the Eagles is like watching Barry Sanders running behind Emmitt Smith's line. Saquon literally runs. I didn't even realize they put a stat up and they was like he averages like 6 yards before contact.
Yep.
You know what that's like for Saquon? dude, your secondary dudes, they would eat their Wheaties or something the day before.
That's like remember like Bo Jackson in the old Techno
Oh
Bowl
yeah,
game or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much that.
Dude, I mean, I'm just like you had dudes. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not as old as Chandler, but you had dudes that's like OJ, and you had dudes like Eric Dickerson. I never saw OJ with clips, but I saw some of Eric Dickerson. Eric Dickerson was a strider. He would, run away from you and stuff like that. He never really juked you like that. He's shaking you out your shoes, And Saquon is one of them guys that like he's already in your secondary. He can run away from you or he's shaking you out your shoes. Pick your poison. Hey, look, and that's crazy, dude. I think that's been the one thing on that team. They've had good backs, but they've never had a Saquon back on that team. And I get all the Jalen Hurts hate. Steve, he's Houston adjacent, so I'm gonna root for him.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I always put it like this, right? The best thing for Jalen Hurts was that he left Alabama and he went to Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts was never really a passer. He learned how to pass when he went to Oklahoma. He's not, a Peyton Manning pinpoint accuracy, but he can pass. People give him a lot of hell because they be like, oh, Jalen this and Jalen that. But Jalen is a gamer, and Jalen, he does what he needs to do to win. I'm a fan of, if you got to run the ball 50 times to win the game, run the ball 50 times. If you got to throw it 50 times, throw it 50 times. And Jalen, to say, I think he only had like 18 passes. It felt like he had like 300 yards passing, which is crazy. But it was just like I said, it was the passes that he made, and he made them so precise, on point. So I'm gonna give his hats off to that. And then when I'm not gonna really get into the defense too much, but I'm gonna say this, right? Howie Roseman, dude, man, remember we talked about draft? We talked about the beginning of the season, the moves he was making.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, people are giving Sirianni a little bit more credit, but you got to give Roseman credit too. How many teams that we saw that have a GM and you be like, oh man, they need D-line help. You know what? I think we want to get this receiver. Oh man, we need receivers. I think we need more D-backs. Howie Roseman is literally one of those GMs. If you need D-line, okay, yeah, I got you. You need cornerbacks? Because that was the problem last season. They was getting burnt. They couldn't stop nobody throwing the ball.
Right.
Oh, I'll just go take the best two corners in the draft.
They drafted well.
Dude, it's when you look at that defense now, dude, it's like looking at that defense and you don't even realize that Slay is literally like a nickel now. Literally. Darius Slay, Pro Bowl Darius Slay is barely
big play Slay.
Big play Slay.
Dude, like I said, if you think about it, like somebody of his caliber, and now he's being relegated because you got 2-star corners over here, rookies, holding it down. Like, yeah, Howie Roseman is that guy. Like you said, Miles Sanders, you want to leave? Oh, we'll just go get Saquon. Oh, Jalen Hurts, you need a number one? Oh, we'll go get AJ. Like, it helps to have a GM that will address the team needs, bro. And you could see it.
And it also helps to have an owner who just writes the checks and stay out the way.
Yeah,
Lurie writes the checks, stays out the way.
It helps that Lurie, you know what? I think one of the guys brought it up today when I was watching. Like, he made a mistake, and he had demoted what's his face and brought in Chip Kelly and let Chip Kelly run the show. And as soon as he knew it was a bad idea, he got rid of Chip Kelly and brought him back. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, he was already there, but he, put him back in charge.
Put him back. Mm-hmm.
And that's something that my owner, the Mara and Tish family won't do. Right. No. Like, they won't admit that they're wrong or do something about it. And we already know in Dallas, right? Dallas is Dallas. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, to have the ball to say, I was wrong, I screwed up. Can you come in and how can you do what you've been doing, right? So I think that was one of the turning points too, right? So, but one thing I wanted, Larry, did you catch Hurts after the game with the straight jacket?
Yeah, the straight jacket.
Dude, man, he's H-Town dude, man. And like,
that's so H-Town coded, man. I was like, did you see the cleats though? the Jordan
point. It just shows, man. I'm the Niners fan on this show, and John Lynch does the same thing. He's like, hey, we need tackles, go get tackles. Hey, we need, this, let's go do this. It shows in how bad that. Think about it. The Eagles made the playoffs last season, right? Remember how bad they was like the last 8 games? Like they literally fumbled. If they didn't start off so hot, they would have not made the playoffs. They literally stumbled their way in the playoffs.
If there was 18 games, they wouldn't have made the playoffs.
They wouldn't have made the playoffs. No.
Nobody was surprised that they lost that game, right? And now you turn around and it's like, dude, they've been one of the hottest teams down the stretch, like point blank. And they fixed the areas that need to be fixed. And it shows. It really does show.
Yeah, and it's funny because
13 million.
It's funny. 3 things before we can move on to the AFC Championship game. So one is I rewatched a little bit of Hard Knocks, and it's just the Giants, they knew they didn't. Nobody wanted to admit it, but they knew this was a bad idea letting Saquon go because they knew they even knew where he was gonna go because he's like, look, man, he was like, I guess I'm not gonna feel easy about this Saquon goes to Philadelphia. I'm gonna be sick if he goes to Philadelphia, and I'm sure he's pretty sick. Chandler talked about the 7 throws that a quarterback has to make in a game. Jalen Hurts made those 7 throws in the game. Now again, he only had to throw the ball about 7 times with Saquon doing what he did, but he still made those 7 throws. And 3, Howie Roseman, it's again, like Larry says, it's very simple. Howie Roseman was like, look, this Carter kid, got into a little bit of a situation down there in Georgia, but let me talk to him. They talked to him. The kid admitted that he made a mistake. He slipped in the draft and fell right into the Eagles' lap. And then you get Nakobe Dean, who unfortunately is injured or something like that. That kid's a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like Howie Roseman just looks at it's not people look, analytics has its place. We talk about this all the time. But at the end of the day, Howie Roseman is like, that kid's good. Should probably draft him. This guy's good. Should probably draft him. And then of course you get your good fortune with guys like Bond. Well, it's like a special teamer for the Saints ends up being, look, he got a legit argument for defensive player of the year. He got a legit defensive. He got if he was to win defensive player of the year, I don't think anybody who truly know ball would be like, oh, this is a travesty, because he has a legit claim to defensive player of the year. And again, it's like we'll talk about the Commanders. Look, of the Eagles drag their feet. This guy made himself a bunch of money and would fit right in on that Commanders defense. So it's just but again, that defensive line makes a lot of linebackers look good, because it's like we talk about Ray Lewis. It's like people kind of downplay the fact that Goose and Haloti Nada were clogging stuff up front to let Ray Lewis and them run around like that. So it's but that's just it's interesting to see what happens moving forward. But it was a great game by the Eagles, and like I said, the Commanders should just keep their head up.
Yeah,
keep your head up.
There you go, sing.
The thing about that team too is, if you notice, even I said, I give a lot of credit to Howie Roseman, right? He knew which guy was gonna retire.
Kelsey.
Hey, I need to get somebody in here because Kelsey's gonna retire. Hey, maybe we'll pick up Mekhi Becton. Let's see what he do. But we got other players. If you really watch that team and they give that line so much credit, they backups actually play a lot of snaps on that line. They are really deep on that line. That offense and defensive line, if you really watch, they sub in so many players to where now, I forgot his name. I think he's the one of their guards. He went down. They was like, oh, we'll just put the backup in, and they ain't lose one step, not a one. And that's something that a really good GM will, make sure that they are addressing, and making sure that you're preparing for the future, but also having really good backups in place in case somebody get injured. And that's the craziest thing to me watching that whole game. You could just tell that defense.
It's two things, right? With the Eagles and the Chiefs, when you don't miss in the draft, you get to have these privileges of going to the Super Bowl.
Well, everybody
missed in the draft.
You're missing to a minimum.
Yeah, You keep your misses to a minimum. You're gonna miss a couple, right? But to your point, but when you miss in the draft, especially with your first round picks, Giants, this is where you end
Well,
up.
I mean, it's just
Okay,
we'll talk about the Chiefs later. Like the Chiefs were like, so nobody wants this
we can
Worthy
talk about
kid.
it now.
Nobody wants this
Yeah,
Worthy
yeah.
kid. So
Nah.
nobody
Don't
wants
go there.
Xavier Worthy.
Don't
Okay,
go there.
we'll pick him. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Bill,
We'll
The Bills dropped
the
the ball.
Bills, the Bills fumbled the ball. They traded to the Chiefs to pick up Patrick Mahomes, and now they get to get. You know
Well,
what?
yeah,
Since we're here, man.
that's the curse, right? That's the curse of the Bambino type stuff.
Right,
Like you traded what they got. What they get? Josh Allen and like 2 picks or something like that from Mahomes, and
No,
like
they got Tre'Davious White in 2
they got
picks.
Tre'Davious White, 2 picks.
Yeah, but it's like
Josh Allen.
it's like you've been paying for it ever since.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's just like the Bears. The Bears, like, and I know Chandler loved the Bears. It's just like, you know what? I really like this Trubisky kid. He's a good kid. You know what I'm saying? Let's draft him. He's the best quarterback in this draft because, like, we had fun with him at dinner. You know, so it's like.
I mean,
since we're here, man, let's move, man. The Bills Chiefs game. A lot is being talked about this particular ball game. I'm gonna let Larry bat lead off here.
I don't even want to bat lead off, man. Somebody.
Nah,
I'll
I'm
I'll hit it.
All right, go ahead.
I know Larry gonna talk his shit. Listen, 7 wins in the playoffs and you haven't gotten to the Super Bowl, and there's one reason: Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Josh Allen didn't lose this game. I feel like he tried to do too much to win it, and they kind of got off script. That first drive, it was really like he should have had 2 interceptions on that first drive. Everybody was watching it.
Oh yeah.
But I felt like the Bills fell back. They had a whole season of not controlling Josh Allen, but like really saying, Josh, you don't have to do too much. Relying on the team to win, like the good feelings of getting Diggs out of town and that whole kind of energy that was there. They did everything right up until this point, and they get across the field from the Chiefs, and they revert back to their old ways. James Cook was not on the field.
He was
on
cooking.
4th down.
Did not get enough touches.
He did not get enough touches, coach, and he was not on the field on 4th down. I'll say it again. He was not on the field on 4th down. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like James Cook, like I had a. Go ahead.
No. It was 4th and 5 at that. I don't understand how. Go ahead, man. My bad, dog.
It just doesn't make any sense, man. Like you just revert to these old stupid ways. Like I had James Cook on 2 of my fantasy teams, and he took me to the playoffs, man. Like he cooked all season. Like we talked about it for the last few years that Buffalo needed a run game outside of Josh Allen. You got James Cook this year, and you didn't use him. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they dared you to, like, he was getting about 5-6 yards of rip, and you didn't. Anyway, it wasn't Dalton Kincaid's fault.
No.
I want everybody to stupid fans on social media that don't know football. It wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? He was open. It was, honestly, it was a good play call on the offensive side. Outside the fact that Cook wasn't on 4th down. Did I mention that? Anyway, Dalton Kincaid was open on the cross with the mesh concept, and even they had Shakir open on the flat. I think Larry, you talked about it today, right? And you had a blocker in front. Josh Allen panicked. And that's what happens when you're across from the Chiefs. What happens to him? He panics. You know what I mean? So, outside of that, listen, the elephant in the room, that was a 1st down.
Oh, boy.
1st down. I mean, give me a break. And how is that 4th down play with Mahomes called the catch? I mean, I hate saying the refs give them the games, but damn it, you make it easy for people to say it. You just make it easy for us. But outside of that, that's the difference. You can't let a game against the Chiefs in their building in the playoffs come down to the refs or come down to a play or come down 4th and 5. Like they missed out on extra point. They missed out on a 2-point conversion. Like it's a tie game. It's a tie game if that doesn't happen. Like they left a couple points on the board, and it's like you gotta play perfect football because the Chiefs don't beat themselves. Andy Reid is one of the best coaches of all time. Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive coordinators of all time. You got one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You can't afford to make mistakes, and that's what the Bills did. They made mistakes. Give the Chiefs credit because this was the worst team that they've had, 2-loss team, and they're going right back to where they belong in the Super Bowl. Just don't miss a beat. And for me, I mean, I'm supposed to appreciate it because you don't see it very often, but I'm tired of seeing it. I'm just
so here's the deal, gentlemen. CK, I'll let you go here in a minute. So you've been quiet for a minute, having technical difficulties. I'm a numbers guy, right? You know what I'm saying? And James Cook had 13 touches in that ball game. 13.
Davis had a good game the week before and had 2.
He had 2 touches. Okay. Yep. Josh Allen ran the football for 11 times. Okay. Here's the okay. I'm gonna talk. All right. I've been stewing on this for a minute. Okay. I hear a lot because you guys know I stay on social media. And I watch the talking heads, and occasionally I have a conversation with one of the executives here, primarily Larry. but
yeah, you only call me when you need something.
I don't need you at all, no. You don't like answering your phone. The biggest issue I have is that so many people want to buy into the minutia of it's the same old Kansas City Chiefs again getting bailed out by the refs. This wasn't a first down, that wasn't a catch, etc., etc., etc. Here are some facts, okay? The interception catch it was a tie. The tie goes to the receiver. Also, it did not hit the ground. It did not hit the ground. And if you like, villain, I can pull it up here. It did not hit the ground. And even if it did, let me play devil's advocate for you.
Me, pull it up. I don't give a
let me play devil's advocate for you. Even if it did, the Buffalo Bills were offside of the damn play. It would have negated it anyway.
Oh my God.
Would it have not?
If my uncle didn't have a penis, it'd be my aunt. I don't want to hear that crap. Like, come on.
Here's the thing: you don't want to hear it because you probably are part of the nonsense minutia that wants to believe that this shit is rigged.
It is rigged. Damn it, the Chiefs with Taylor Swift and his wife, and then all who's the new floozy that we gotta see in the freaking booth now? Like, I'm tired of the damn Chiefs. All right, I'm sick of the Chiefs with their fake tomahawk chop. That's for Florida State. That's not for Kansas City. I'm tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes with his little stupid hair. It's like gremlin voice. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired. Mom, I'm sorry, but they got me hot right now. I can't stand this shit anymore. I can't.
That's all I needed. But anywho, so there's that. The Buffalo Bills went forward on 4th down 4 times. They missed all of them. Okay. They had a 2-point conversion, not go down. And so when you start to look at, to your point, villain, you have to play perfect in every facet of the ball game in order to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay? You have to be perfect because what will happen is they will take your mess up and turn it into points. And that's essentially what took place. And here's the coup de grace, okay? Josh Allen gets the ball back, down 3 with 3 minutes and change left to go. All you have to do is get into field goal range. Send this game in overtime. If you get in the end zone, perfect. He did not get it done. Josh Allen will go down as the Karl Malone, Charles Barkley of the NFL. He will get to a place, but then he will run into that dude who continually knocks him out. And that's no shade against that's no shade against Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. If he makes the Hall of Fame one day, that's great. There are plenty of people in the Hall of Fame that are not Super Bowl champions. But until the Buffalo Bills figure out how to solve the Kansas City Chiefs problem, it's irrelevant. And I will say this going forward, okay? Let's say the Buffalo Bills get to the Super Bowl next year, okay? Unless they go to the Chiefs, it's for naught. You have to solve this problem. You have to go through the Kansas City Chiefs to in my opinion, solidify your greatness. And until the Buffalo Bills stop kicking their own butts, doing the same thing the Baltimore Ravens did last week when they refused to give the ball to Derrick Henry, yet again, which is why you brought him in here. Which we didn't mention that last week. But the Buffalo Bills fell into old habits. To your point, Villain. And so I'm not going to sit here and buy into the minutia that it's rigged. I'm not going to sit here and buy into the minutia that, it's scripted, this, that, and the third. The Buffalo Bills literally threw up on themselves, and the Kansas City Chiefs capitalized on it. This game unfolded.
You can't give them extra outs, right? Like in baseball, you can't give them extra outs.
Like I said last week, the Chiefs do not need your help to beat you. They don't.
Right. Yeah. Right.
This game unfolded exactly how I thought it would unfold.
God damn it.
And I hope.
Sorry, guys.
The Rockets. I know.
I hope Josh Allen. I hope Josh Allen turns into a. I hope he turns into a John Elway. Not off the field, but
Yeah.
on the field.
Pause. Here's the thing. I have sat on this network and other networks and other spaces and kind of put Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in the same category. They are excellent regular season quarterbacks. They are excellent. You know what I'm saying? Again, I've gone on my social media. Lamar Jackson deserves the MVP award if it's not going to be given to Saquon. I get it. But you have to solve this riddle. When the lights are brightest, you have to shine bright like a diamond, And unfortunately, there is the big bad Thanos that stands in these brothers' way every year that with a Thanos snap tends to snap them out of the playoffs. And now here he is, back in the Super Bowl.
Where did that? You couldn't live with your failure. Where did that bring you? Right back to me.
Back to Kansas City. Right back to Arrowhead Stadium. Yeah.
So Chandler, talk to me, my guy. Chandler, you've been awfully quiet over there. Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills. How you feel?
It turned out exactly what I thought it would. The Bills at a certain point, Sean McDermott was going to do something that he had no business doing, and he did it twice. Why the hell are you going? Take the damn points, man.
Yeah.
Take the damn points. And then come on, that fourth down, son. Come on, man. Come on, son. You can't go for it. There were 2 fourth downs. He went for it. You can't do that. You just can't.
Yeah.
I understand that once you start chasing points, you've lost. Mm-hmm. They were chasing points once he took points off the board. You took points off the board against the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, and by the way, what the hell happened to James Cook? Was he kidnapped in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I mean, his face was on the milk carton. This is what got you here, running the ball. So, hey, let's drop back and pass until the game is over. Let's never run the ball again. See, these coaches get in these games. John Harbaugh, I'm talking to you. Todd Monken, I'm talking to you. Sean McDermott, I'm talking to you. Joe Brady, I'm talking to you. Okay? They get in these games and they try to out Andy Reid. Just call the game you've been calling. Dance with the girl what brung you. Okay? That means do what you've always done. If you're a running team, run the damn ball. If you're a passing team, pass the damn ball. Don't get there and say, like, I know that he know that I know that he know that I know that he know that I know that he know what I'm gonna do, but he don't know that I know that he know that he know that. I mean, come on, man.
I mean, to be honest with you, Chandler, in their defense, this is what Sean McDermott has always done, though.
Exactly. That's what he
You think he's the common denominator, coach? I mean, Chandler?
Say again?
Do you think he's the common denominator?
I think he's a common denominator. I think John Harbaugh is a common denominator. I think the offensive coordinators are the common denominator because the head coach has the final say on the play calls. Let's be honest. Head coach has the final say. Okay?
Yeah.
If you have thrown the ball 7 straight times, maybe run the ball. Maybe Spagnola's about to zero blitz you because you already threw it 6 straight times. And maybe he says, well, he threw a 6. They're probably going to throw a 7. Why don't I zero blitz them? Everybody in the stadium knew it was going to be a zero blitz, apparently except for Sean McDermott and Joe Brady. So at the end of the day, it comes down to coaches panicking against the Chiefs. John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott. John Harbaugh, Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott lost them this game because he started chasing points, trying to be something he's not, which is Andy Reid. Bro, you ain't Andy Reid. Be Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott was good enough to get you to the AFC Championship game. Why are you suddenly trying to be 200 pounds heavier and have a mustache?
But it's like they beat them already in the regular season, right? And like you came out in the championship game and you looked desperate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make sense. It really does. It don't make sense.
You're on mute. But it's like, honestly, Sean McDermott is one of the guys on this team that has to have a really hard look in the mirror and say, what did I do to not put my team in position to win this game? Did I completely get out coached, or did I like psych myself out? Because I don't feel like I feel like, yes, Andy Reid and Spagnuolo outcoached you when it came down to it. Like, you look at the 4th down play that the Bills called, right? The mesh concept. The play was right. It wasn't executed great because they changed their protection at the last minute. But you look at that play that Mahomes had to Pirine, right? It was the concept. They knew that the Bills were playing man coverage the whole game. They had the guys crossing over, and then they had Pirine just peel out, and it was wide open. Like, that's coaching, right? That's understanding the assignment and knowing what you're going to get and saying, I know what you're going to do. This is the perfect play that you hadn't really seen all game. That's going to get me what I need, right? So I don't know, man. It's just the Bills are just as good as the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're just not going to beat them like this. They're not. They're not the way they were trying to play.
Yeah. Coach, talking to my man as we sit here and watch the Rockets choke this one away.
This goddamn game away.
All Idiot. 5 of you watching?
Idiots. Like, jeez.
Man, you up
anyway, like, I mean, like, travel. Like, it's a fucking anyway.
Come on, are you guys not watching like NXT and Last Legend?
Look.
I am not right now.
No, I've seen Lash plenty. Like, so it's like I but anyway.
Never enough. Never too much. Never too much.
Man, you've been singing your ass off tonight, Barry, man. I love it. Songbird of our generation, man. Like, you've been singing that. Anyway,
Luther Vandross in this bitch.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Okay, so man, I was thinking about this. Yeah. If you seen Last Legend, you'll start singing too, Larry. Anyway, so I was thinking about this like since Sunday, and I want to ask y'all this. It's like, you know what? This reminds me of the LeBronto saga. Okay, where it's like the Raptors were good. The Raptors were really good, but the goddamn LeBron James would just come and they would just totally forget everything that they did to get them to that point in the playoffs, and LeBron would just always find a way, and they would always find a way to beat them. And I feel
Yep.
like that's a situation where it's like the Bills are good. The Bills, they beat everybody else, but then they get to this point and then they forget what got them there. And I'm tired of teams. They again, like Chandler said, it's like you cannot out Andy Reid because he's Andy Reid. Okay. You have to just hope that whatever game plan you put together can
Ooh,
beat Andy Reid's. Yeah, I know, right? Like so, it's like, but
he was so
so
open, dog.
it's wide open. Like, but anyway, so the thing is with Andy Reid, again, like I said, the Chiefs don't need you to help them beat you. It's like the Chiefs, but see, the Chiefs, they don't deviate too far away from their plan. They're like, this is what it is, and the fourth down call is being talked about a lot. And I just feel like Spagnuolo called a hell of a blitz. That wasn't a look that they it's again on that play, the balls to call a corner blitz on that play. And let's keep it a buck here. Before Josh Allen could even say go, he had somebody in his lap.
Yep.
And Josh Allen made a hell of a play to even get that ball off. And Kincaid made a hell of a play to even get in a position to where he could even get his hands close to that ball. But it is what it is. And the Bills just once again you get to this situation. It's like again, Barry, you said it correctly. They're good enough to beat the Chiefs, but then they get inside their head and they try to match whatever the Chiefs are doing. And you talk about that play to P. Ryan. It's like that was a very similar play to the Chiefs. I mean, to the Bills' fourth down play. It's
Yep.
just like P. Ryan was Mahomes, and this is the difference between Mahomes and Josh Allen. Whereas Mahomes is like, hey, P. Ryan's gonna be wide open over there. Just like Shakur. Shakur, after they did the little motions over there, he wasn't wide open, but that would have been it would have been close. He might have been able to get the first down because there was a defender over there, but I like that play better than the play that happened. But again, that speaks to Spagnuolo once again calling up a perfect blitz at the perfect time. And like I said, the balls to call a corner blitz when you know they're passing. When you know it's gonna be this is what it's gonna be. And I just feel like once again, Spagnuolo and Reed, like these guys, they do this. I'm tired of it, to be quite honestly. Just I'm sick of it. Um, like the fourth down spot, like again, you had the one ref like here and the one ref there, and he's like, no, 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 we're gonna move this back. And so you had that, but again, man, look, as much as I hate to say it, the Chiefs are good. They don't need your help. They will go out there. They can beat you on their own merit.
Mm.
But when they get this help, it makes it very difficult to beat them. The Eagles have a chance to heal America, you know, and get the Patriots. I'm sorry, the Chiefs out of here because that's what they are. They're the new Patriots. It's like it's funny how like this shift has started, and it started when just Brady retires, and then that's like the Chiefs have taken that mantle up. They're the nobody likes. They're and it's like, look, I'm a history guy. I love history. I love history in and out of sports, and it's like a three-peat would be historic, but why? Does it have to be the Chiefs? I don't want it to be the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't want to see this. I want to see Saquon get his first ring. I want to see Jalen Hurts, H-Town adjacent, get his ring. It's like while the history would be nice. This talk about the Patriots is like while it would have been cool to see them go undefeated. Man, I was the biggest Giants fan in the world on that day. You know,
I think we
you
all
know,
were.
Yeah.
it's like it was like because I was like, man, how perfect would it be for them to get all the way to the Super Bowl and then lose? Your perfect season ends in the Super Bowl, and it was glorious and it was beautiful. And David Tyree, I'll buy him a drink if I ever meet him in a bar somewhere, but this comes back to what we're talking about now. Um, the Chiefs defense doesn't get a
Yeah.
lot of credit,
Nope.
Yep.
and the Chiefs defense, which a couple years ago was their Achilles heel, the Chiefs defense is legit.
Yep.
It's like, and look, they were
That's why they
trying to
win
play.
games.
Yeah, exactly. This is the new Chiefs. It's like it's not like they're not scoring 35, 45 points a game. They're scoring 20 and their defense is holding you to 13 or to 14. That is how the Chiefs are winning. It's like they have almost on the fly changed their identity. And it's funny because they were trying to play in Chris Jones' face like they wasn't gonna pay him. He needs a raise because Chris Jones was all over the. He was just disruptive. He was lining up at end, lining up at tackle. What he was doing, and like the secondary, it's just like We talked about Howie Roseman earlier. It's like the Chiefs just find a way to just be like, you know what? Hmm, let's go get a corner. Let's go get a safety. Let's get this linebacker nobody's ever heard of, and he's gonna get 100 tackles. Let's just do, and it's just they do this,
Yep.
and this is the difference between teams like the Chiefs and teams like the Jaguars, where you have like from top to bottom, it is ownership, it is GM, it is coach, and then it is players. Whereas like in Jacksonville, the ownership is ridiculous and it trickles down into every other aspect of the team. And we talk about the Cowboys a lot on here, more than I think we should. But it's like again, it starts at the top with Jerry
Very
Jones,
second favorite team.
and it just trickles down into everything else. But good teams, good, like it starts from the top. And the Chiefs, the Hunt family has been doing this stuff a long time. They're a blue blood family in football, like the Rooney Mara and Tish family. So it's like they've been doing this a long time. Hunts have been, so it's just they know how to do this. They know how to set up a franchise and how to run it and how to run it correctly. And as much as I hate the Chiefs, you have to kind of some way in a little bit appreciate the sustained success that they're having in a sport that's not built for it. The NFL is built for everybody to go 8-8. That's what they want. They want parity more than any other league. They want everybody to go 9-8 or whatever like that and just kind of be. But then to see a team like the Bills and the Chiefs, like to see these teams kind of rise above and kind of stay there is actually really great because it's like, I mean, this might not be the last time we might see the Bills and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game 3 or 4 more times down the line. So it's like it's just like I said, that stuck out to me. It's like I talk a lot about, I live here in Pittsburgh, of course, everybody knows that. I'm like, hey y'all see the Chiefs? It's like, see what a quarterback does
Hmm.
for you when you got a quarterback. See what that does? Don't that feel good? I like for 20 years y'all had a guy where like every time you went out there you thought you could win. I feel like y'all forgot what that felt like, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a good feeling. Kansas City Chiefs fans can know that any given Sunday we got 15. We more than likely we feel good to win. So
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's real simple. Like to the Bills, to the Josh Allens, to the Lamar Jacksons, to the
mhm,
Joe Burrows. It's Patrick Mahomes, and y'all gonna have to pay homage to the man, just like Ric Flair said.
mhm,
You got to do it.
mhm. To
Yeah.
beat a man, you got to beat the man. Yeah.
Woo!
Larry, talk to him, man.
Larry, like, what
How
the
the man
fuck are y'all
go,
talking
bro?
about? Like,
Hey, why,
He
why
knows what I'm
y'all
talking
why
about.
y'all playing over here? Patrick Mahomes was probably over here praying to sweet baby Jesus that Joe Burrow didn't make it in. And he probably
yeah,
was
yeah,
over there
yeah,
sweating
yeah,
bullets.
yeah,
Yeah, he
yeah.
probably was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
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 Macaulay Culkin, the only one that ain't afraid. You know what I'm
Nah,
Yep.
saying?
Joe Burrow, the only one who
Everybody
ain't
else
yeah,
scared.
shook.
Yep.
yeah.
Everybody else
Hey,
Keanu
while
and
you
Lev,
playing
man.
around, they would by them being that low seed, they would have had to go to Arrowhead. This would have been a whole nother outcome around here. Cause yeah, and that team they to be honest with you, they were the hottest team down the stretch.
Sure.
The hottest. They
Oh
just
yeah.
came up one game short.
You talk
Uh,
about that 18 game season would have helped him out this
oh
year.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they would have made it. They would have made it for the
Well,
18
there's
game
gonna be a
season.
lot of fights if there's an 18-game season. I know that.
That's what it's looking
Dude, you
like,
know
too.
what? So I'm gonna
Mhm.
put it like this, right? So we'll just have one preseason game, man. That's all they're gonna do. Um,
Two.
so I'm gonna put it like this, right? When I watched that game, the most frustrating thing was watching that game. And remember, we said on this show, I really think that a lot of times you have these coaches that they look at this game and it's like, we just don't want to win. We gotta have Josh Allen look amazing as we win. We can't just go in and just win the game, dude. To say that Cook only touched the ball 13 times, dude. Davis, we was like looking at him like, oh my god, that's the backup against the Ravens. This dude touched the ball twice. Like Steve said, the Chiefs don't need your help. They do get help. I don't care what nobody say. They get help, but they don't need no extra help. And don't get away from who you are. Like we Houston boys, Steve. You know the reason why people know who Robert Horry name is?
Mm-hmm.
Because Robert Horry won 7 rings. And you know what Robert Horry do? The
Big
shit
shot
that he
block.
need to do to win the game. He don't care about if
Mm-hmm.
he get 15 rebounds or 2 rebounds or he hit the one clutch shot to win the game. Just win
Yeah.
the game. Just
There you go.
Bob.
that's it. Win the game. And I think that they got away from just wanting to win the game. It was how they look. There's no way in the world that Josh Allen should have had 11 runs. 11. And then what's the crazy part about it? For me, I could see if he was averaging 5, 6, 7 yards a clip. He was only averaging like 3 yards. He kept getting stopped.
Especially James Cook
Cooking. And
Especially
it was like,
James was running. There should be no reason why.
dude, y'all heard me in the chat. I was in the chat saying, why do they keep throwing the ball?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
They kept
ridiculous.
throwing the ball. I'm like, dude, I don't care about. It's not about how somebody looks in the win. It's about winning the game. That's it. Point blank. Now, I'm a fan, and I'm gonna say this: that was the first down. But even on the other fourth down run, if y'all notice, dude, I don't think it was Chris Jones. It was one of the other guys. Man, that dude was his helmet was damn near in the backfield, and they call that outside. I'm like, come on now. Like they do get a Chiefs some breaks, and yeah, serious, you right, because I remember watching that Seahawks and Packers game, and the tie go to the offense, and I hate that rule. I definitely do because I feel like if it's simultaneous catch, then hell, it's incomplete. But they don't rule it that way. Uh, but yeah, dude, watching that game, it was so frustrating. I'm like, the Bills, why are y'all getting away from who y'all are, right? But I will say this too. That fourth down play, everybody knew. Even the announcers like Spags is gonna blitz. Spags always blitzes on those plays. And yeah, Shakur, he was open. Why Josh did not have no hot route? When you know a blitz is coming and they either gonna run a screen or you have a hot route. That means it's a quick out, something quick. The defenders was all the way down the field because they was expecting it to be a deep pass. If they would have gave him, and it was a blitz, it was a corner blitz, so somebody would have been
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, it was a corner blitz. Yeah.
Why did y'all not have a hot route, knowing that Spags is going to do that? He's
Because
gonna
Joe
do that,
McDermott was standing over there saying, "Bundle of Rooski dude."
dude. And
Well,
like,
no, but Barry
There was
Barry
more
said
than
it.
size
Barry said it
though.
right though. Barry said it right though. Josh Allen changed the protection to the wrong thing. Like
he
he
did,
made the
but
wrong call when he changed the protection. That's what
he
it
just
was.
changed the protection, but he still should have had a hot route. He should have had a route that he could have went to when he once he seen it was a blitz. He could have went to real quick.
But he
And
panicked, Larry.
I mean, he did, but like, dude, like I'm one of them dudes that's come to the. I put it like this, right? When you playing somebody like Andy Reid, you playing a Belichick, right? You have to stick to what got you there, but also you have to like I ain't gonna say outthink them, but you have to call the plays when you don't think that they're going to call the plays. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you have to like we all remember Philly. You had to call a Philly at that particular time to outsmart Bill Belichick, right?
Yep.
Remember Bill Belichick called when he had the receiver lined up on the line like he was a tackle against Andy Reid because he knew he had to do that to outsmart Andy Reid. And I just feel like the Bills they got away from doing Bill stuff, but they also did not do the things to outsmart Andy Reid that he wouldn't expect you to do. Andy Reid did that. He was like, "Oh yeah, for third down, we need to run the ball out. Yep, y'all not gonna expect this fake this fake, and we gonna throw it to P Ryan. Like you have to do those things to kind of throw somebody off their game. But it was frustrating to me kind of watching that game but I'm one of them dudes that also believe, they do want to see Taylor Swift. They want to keep cutaway to Taylor Swift. You're gonna see Taylor Swift 8 times a game. Taylor Swift don't have nothing to do with football. You know, but we'll see what's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be the dude that throw it out there. People saying that there's never been a three-peat. There has been a three-peat, just haven't been a three-peat in the Super Bowl era. So we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. But my roots lie at. Hey Steve, I will. The only conflict that I had in that game, and I can tell you right now, you probably had the same conflict I got. You don't want to see the Chiefs win, but goddamn, D-Hop is on that team.
Yeah.
God
That
Yeah,
that
damn,
that
yeah.
that is the only thing. That is the one. Like I said, Xavier Worthy, Longhorn, of course, would love to see him get a ring. But it's like, but especially like DeAndre Hopkins is just like, I want my man to get a ring, but it's like, god damn, like,
why I gotta be there? Why I can't be somewhere else? God damn it.
mm-hmm,
But,
It's
but
like,
you know what? You could do a whole class on that 4th and 5 play, right? Of
Yeah.
what
mm-hmm.
the Chiefs did and what
The
the
Bills did,
Bills
yeah.
did, right? Because like I said, the play call wasn't wrong, but because of the tight receiver alignment, they played into everything that Spagnuolo wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tight formation, corner
It
blitz.
was a 4-by-1.
But it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it was so easy. Like you just made it easy, and like Spagnuolo, keep in mind they gave up points, they gave up yards, they gave up
Mm-hmm.
like 29 points. But when it comes down to a play or two,
Yeah.
like he knows what to do.
Yeah,
Like
but
I've seen it.
fourth
Like
down
I've
play.
seen it in New York, right?
The
You've seen
play
it.
wasn't the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth down play wasn't the problem. The problem was the second down and the third down play where you passed the ball. And
Thank you.
they kept
Thank
putting
Yep.
themselves in that position.
Yep.
Thank
if
you.
they run the ball on second down, right? They're running on second down, right? And fake the run on third down. On fourth down, he doesn't corner blitz because he's like, they might run this ball. Because if you run the ball there, the corner's coming in, the running back's going right past them. Okay? There were multiple things they could have done prior to fourth down. So everybody keeps, the focus isn't on the fourth down. The focus is on what did you do on second and third down. They threw the ball
Not run the ball.
8 times.
Because the
Not
second down
run the ball.
was with before the 2-minute warning, wasn't it? Right. So you had a chance to run it for a first down, and you still had all your timeouts in your pocket.
And you get an extra timeout. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they had plenty. Dude, the frustrating thing to me was they were kept passing the ball, right? Then you get in these fourth down situations, right? Why are you running the ball with Josh Allen when you got a dude over here averaging 6 yards a clip?
Yep.
6 yards a clip. And even if you are putting yourself in a positions where you are 4th down and 1, dude, you're not even giving your best runner an opportunity to run the ball.
Exactly.
Because there was one 4th down play, like I think Josh Allen had to fight like hell to get 2 yards.
Yeah.
Like it was a QB sweep to the right, and
That's on the goal line, right?
Yeah, he had to do a Superman just to get that first down, and it's like, to your point, Larry, you're playing into their hands because you just know that he's gonna run it. Either he's gonna run it to the right or he's gonna QB sneak to the left, because that's what he always does. QB sneak to the left. So what do? I got my like $30 million guy on that side. I got Trish Jones on
at that point, that's when it comes back to kind of coaching too, because it's like, okay, y'all know that I always go to my right. You put your $30 million guy on my right. You know what I'm about to do? Go left. It's like they don't think about these opportunities that could be made by just, I ain't gonna say tricking them, but breaking away from your tendencies.
Yeah.
And it's just it's crazy when you see these games and you watch them and you like, why y'all getting away from what made y'all, right? Just win the game, bro. Just win the goddamn game. Like I said, nobody would have known who Robert Horry was if he didn't have 7 rings. But Robert Horry would do what he needs to do to win the game.
At any point, like, you never thought that Kansas City was going to pull away, or you never thought Buffalo was going to pull away. It always comes down to one play. And when it comes down to one play with that Kansas City Chiefs team, either you make the right play or you don't. And the Bills never do.
Hey, I will say this though. That throw that Josh threw to, was it Shakir, all the way down by like the 1?
Oh, that was brilliant.
That was a hell of a throw.
That was a hell of a play call. That was a hell of a throw.
Hell of a play call, hell of a throw. And sometimes you get drunk on stuff like that.
But here's the thing.
Do.
The Samaje Perine play. Andy Reid has a habit. When I saw Samaje Perine in the game, I knew they were going to throw it to him because Andy Reid and he'll put a guy in for one play at a critical time and who ain't touched the ball all game. And Samaje Perine, when he gets in the game, he's going to get a pass. He's going to get a ball. He's going to get the ball. And it's only going to be that one play. You ain't going to see him ever again in the game. And when Andy puts him in, he gets him the ball. Again, if I know that, how in the hell didn't Buffalo?
No.
He was butt naked, wide open.
He was wide open.
You know what?
And it was funny is he had a couple drops in was it last week or something like that?
Yeah, last week he came up like
but it doesn't
big.
matter.
But he still did it.
He was going to get the ball. Whether he dropped it or not is irrelevant.
Right.
You knew he was going to get the ball when Andy put him in.
Right.
But you know what? And this is what I'm gonna say, and that's gonna be the final thing I say on this game. Because like I said, I'm not rooting for the Chiefs, and I feel like all of these questionable calls and non-calls is just kind of putting a little stain on a run. If I was the Chiefs, I would have told the NFL, hey, look, stop this crap because people are literally really talking about it. It's actually putting a little bit of a cloud. It's kind of like Deflategate with the Patriots. It's like putting a little bit of a cloud over they run. But was I the only one that noticed that Sean McDermott, your calling card is defense? That's why you brought in Joe Brady. That's why you always get some hotshot coordinator who can work with what's called it. But was I the only one that looked at the Bills and you see how Spags throw in blitzes and corner blitzes? They stayed in a base damn near the whole game. They didn't do nothing to try to trick Patrick Mahomes up. They basically stayed in a base defense the whole game.
I mean, that's what McDermott does. McDermott is a very vanilla defensive coordinator. I mean, it's just he does, and that's what makes Spags great. Spags, I mean, it's his calling card, but I mean, but like Spags is a guy like Jim Johnson. I think we all remember the late great Jim Johnson.
Yep.
The things that he would do with blitzing was beautiful.
Yep.
He would bring he would cook up these weird crazy blitzes that you would think nobody would think of. Spagnuolo is in that same like mind. Whereas like you know what he thinks of these blitzes, these weird he will blitz at times when you should not really blitz. But let's blitz anyway because I have faith in my guys getting home. And McDermott, McDermott is a guy, his defensive mindset is my front four can get it done. My front four can generate enough pressure, and then the linebackers do their thing, and then the secondary, they're playing man, and it's just like that's so McDermott is not like a blitz, like wild type guy. They play base and they rely a lot on their front four, and they have a really good front four. And and Milano's a really good linebacker, and they have a good set. But it's just like as far as like the blitzes and stuff like that. Again, you talked about like doing what you did to get there. It's like now that wasn't again. Maybe it was a time to maybe cook up a blitz, but that's not how they play defense.
Well, I'm not saying cook up a blitz per se, but like if you look at a lot of the times they were like in this base defense, right? You can't man the Chiefs. You have to roll some coverages. You have to disguise some of these coverages, and it's like I could see what they was in. Like I hate to say it, love Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin was getting roasted. Like you can't play man.
Oh
like,
boy, he was.
I mean, what's his face getting hurt, getting that second concussion didn't help.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like
I don't think it would have made a difference either. To be honest,
because he's their best man. They're a man coverage team, and he's his best man coverage. Was it what's his name? Blue.
I know you're talking about.
I know. I can see his face here.
I can't.
Jeez,
I know. I'm 47 or something, right? I can see him, right? He's their best man coverage, and he's the guy that was primarily going to cover Kelsey. Once he got knocked out of the game, and that was a damn shame because he had the concussion last week, and
it was friendly fire. It was friendly fire too, which was
you saw before that he was a little shaky, and then he got hit again. So like once he went out of the game, you kind of had to pull Hamlin on man on Kelsey, and that just kind of changed the whole complexion of the game. But I agree with you, Larry. They're a man coverage team. That's the time to switch it up to go. Let me see if I can
some zones. Let me throw in some zones.
What can I do? Like a cover two, something different.
You know,
But that's why I would.
you know
But that's what
exactly
I'm.
where he's about to get the ball. You can see
But
it.
that's what I'm saying though, guys. It's like I understand what y'all are saying, but then it's like y'all asking why not. But it's like McDermott is a guy where it's like my way, like this is what got us here, so we just
Right.
gonna stick to it. You know,
Which isn't
same thing.
wrong.
Yeah, which isn't wrong. Same thing with Joe Brady. Joe Brady is a good young offensive mind. This was a time to maybe cook up something a little bit more, integrate the backs in the passing game a little bit if you must pass. You know, because James Cook is a pretty good receiving back as well.
Yeah,
You
he is.
know, so it's like so maybe if you must pass, maybe integrate the backs a little bit more. I mean, again, like the Bills do what they did, and like the Bills didn't get here by accident. They didn't stumble, bump. They're a good team. But
Right.
again, it's like teams get to Kansas City and they forget how to run the football,
Yes.
and they forget how to play defense for some strange reason. It's just like I don't understand what it is. I've been to Arrowhead Stadium, nice place, but it's like teams get there and they just throw everything out because they're scared to lose. Instead of trying to win, they try not to lose. And
Yep.
I don't know that the Chiefs just do that to teams because
Yep.
they're so
And the
worried
Chiefs,
about. Yeah.
the Chiefs, they are the most prepared football team in football.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna go back to that last play. It's like Sagnola had that corner bits in his pocket and said, "You know what?
Here
When
it
it
is.
comes
Yeah.
down to
Mm-hmm.
it, at the end of the game, when I need to dial up something that's gonna screw them up, this is what I'm gonna call. When I need to get a first down to ice the game, I'm gonna put P-Line in the game, and this is what I'm gonna call.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
that's
are the most prepared team. They don't make mistakes.
yes,
They
but
don't.
that's because they allow the other team to make the mistake for them, and
Mm-hmm.
then listen. I've watched teams lose to the Chiefs simply because they didn't do the Chiefs aren't this season's Chiefs team. They're not doing anything special. Okay.
Mm-mm.
If you look at their entire season, every game they were in, except for maybe a couple, if the other team just does what they've always done, right? They win, they beat the Chiefs. If Buffalo just runs the ball 6 more times, they win the game.
Keep
Because
the
you're
clock.
never in that position
Yeah.
for Spagnolo to run that corner blitz. You're never in a position for P. Ryan to catch that ball if you just do what you've always done. The Chiefs just wait for you. See, like Belichick used to come up with these exotic defenses. Belichick would literally come in there with a game plan that you could not imagine and beat you with it. Andy Reid's not doing that. Andy Reid is just saying, okay, we're going to play our game. We're going to play our game because they're going to mess it up. They're going to mess it up.
And we'll throw something at you
What
every
do
once in a while
do?
you wasn't expecting.
Mess it up.
Yeah, just like
Yeah.
Barry said, it's like Spags had been sitting on that blitz the whole game.
Yep.
And he was like, here it is.
Here you go. There
Yep.
you go. Because that's exactly what happened. Like I go back with the silver Super Bowl 25. It's the simplest game plan. I'm just gonna play cover 2. I'm gonna let you catch everything underneath, and I'm gonna make the tackles. And I'm gonna play nickel the whole game.
Yep.
And I'm gonna let Thurman Thomas run all over me, but you're not gonna score more than 19 points.
Exactly.
And it's just simple. And Spags makes it simple. It's
Yes,
it.
it's simple.
Like
Yeah.
the little things that they do, they don't make mistakes. Like it's so easy. Like the little things, like Milano, or I don't remember the defensive end on the Bills. Keep contained. Don't let Mahomes get outside the pocket and scramble for a first time. He kept crashing down every time. Mahomes just goes right around you. Let me get my 8 yards, run for a first down, on to the next play. It's the simple details that the Bills don't pay attention to that the Chiefs do, and that's why the Chiefs win every time. It's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I want to double click on something that you were talking about as far as the Buffalo Bills being hampered by the injury and DeMar Hamlin having to cover Travis Kelce or whomever else in man. Patrick Mahomes completed 18 passes on Sunday. Travis Kelce had 2. They got beat by Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy had 2 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown.
Yep.
Nobody else had more than 4. Juju Smith-Schuster had 2. Hollywood Brown had 3. So
Yeah, Juju had two pretty big plays too.
his two
Mhm.
big
Oh,
cat
but
2 to 6.
you know what? You know what? Travis Kelsey is the most expensive, most famous decoy because everywhere he went, he had man coverage, and it was crossing routes and mesh coverage, mesh routes, and mesh concepts, and you had to have the safety come up right over the top to make sure that Kelsey didn't go anywhere like over the and where who was open behind it, Schuster down the middle or Xavier Worthy on the other.
Hollywood Brown.
Very
Yeah.
simple. It was very simple. You couldn't leave Kelsey open because you didn't want him to go off. But when you did that, a safety was paying attention, and there was one that catch that Schuster had over the middle and streaked down the middle of the field. It was because Kelsey drew the coverage. It's so easy. It's like it's so easy. It pisses me off as a Giants fan that we can't figure out how to run an offense like this. It's ridiculous.
But you know what else I noticed? And maybe it was just like I say, maybe it was just me watching the game from a different lens, right?
Mhm.
Have y'all even noticed, like, you know how, like you said, the Chiefs get in your head, even on those Patrick Mahomes runs. If you notice, like, dudes was literally like trying to grab his ankles. Like that one run, that touchdown run, the second one, dude went for his ankles, and Patrick Mahomes right there in his face. Like, I think a lot of times these dudes they thinking that, hey, I'm gonna get the penalty. I'm gonna get the penalties. I gotta like, peep, what is it? Touch him down, and he running. Like, dude, like I literally was looking at that at two of those runs that he made, and I'm like, if this is like 1995, they would have literally destroyed a quarterback trying to run. And these guys were literally trying to put two-hand touch on him. And I'm like, dude, like, what the hell?
We talked about that though with that late hit on whoever it was when Aziz Al Shahir got
Yeah, you
Oh
talking about the
yeah,
Trevor Lawrence joint.
because these quarterbacks now they know these guys are afraid to hit them, right?
afraid.
If they get remotely close to the sideline and they get touched, there's going to be a flag. So what do? They play games with them. They start stutter stepping in. Oh, I'm going to. Oh, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Dude.
Yeah, but like I said, if you look at that, if you look at that second one running head, dude, literally you look at him eye to eye, and instead of dude didn't even try to punch the ball out of his hand or nothing. You go for an ankle tackle.
Yep.
Why?
Because he was afraid to hit him anywhere else.
He was afraid to hit him, and that's crazy. But I'm watching that Eagles game, and Jalen, they was trying to knock Jalen's head off.
because Jalen is a runner.
Yeah, he's a runner. Crazy.
So so is Patrick Mahomes, but the refs don't know that.
No. But like I said, they do get a lot of sweet calls, but sometimes teams they give them a little extra too, instead of just going in and just winning the game and calling it down. I think Joe Burrow would have been that dude. Joe Burrow would have went in there and like, you know what? If we running it 40 times and win, we win. If I'm throwing it 40 and win, we win. But we gonna win.
I mean, Mahomes is that guy. Mahomes is turned into that guy. It's like he's not exactly lighting up. Like I said, those Chiefs teams in the past where they're scoring like 28, 35, 40 points a game. Like, no, they look, it's a race to 20. If the Chiefs get to 20 before you get to 20, they're probably gonna win. That's it. You know.
I mean, but you know what? A lot of these teams, and like I said, I get it. They get out of who they are. But if you watch it, and we talking about Patrick Mahomes, dude, Jalen Hurts does that. That's why I think this is gonna be a really good game. Jalen Hurts does that. If he got to throw it 10 times and they win, they win. Exactly. Brady did it. Brady did it for the longest, and people always think about Brady and they like, oh my God, Tom Brady this and Tom Brady that. Tom Brady would stick to the script too. If we winning and I got to run the ball 40 times, Tom Brady would be handoff specialist. If he got to throw it 30 times to win, he gonna throw it. And that's what I think a lot of times these quarterbacks get out of the mindset of just winning the game. Lamar Jackson. Why is Lamar throwing the ball so much and you got Derrick Henry? Like, you get out of just winning the game.
Because these coaches, again, I've been saying it, John Harbaugh, they get in there and they try to be smarter. Like it's like they want to prove that they're smarter than Andy Reid. And here's the funny part. Remember when Andy Reid was Sean McDermott?
Oh yeah.
Sean McDermott. Andy was getting these games, and suddenly, Andy, you've been running the ball with Bryant Westbrook all season long. Now you get down on the goal line and you running some flea flicker. Let me run back 20 yards, flip it to the tight end, who's going to throw it to a lineman, and the lineman's going to try to backflip into the end zone. Like, what the hell was wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget those games against the Buccaneers in that old Veterans Stadium with that god awful concrete.
With the green concrete.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know what I
the
mean?
green concrete. Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about Andy Reid. Yeah, he's a good coach, but he's a choke artist. He'll never win the big one. Now we're talking about Andy Reid as one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's insane because Andy Reid was a good coach, and Sean McDermott, I believe, is a good coach.
He is.
But
Andy
it's
Reid
just
was
this
a
is
very
just,
good coach.
and I mean, and then this is just a situation where again, like it's funny how Andy Reid couldn't win the big one, and now here he is, like again on his way to Canton,
Yep.
But it's just we'll see, guys.
We're talking about him being right behind Belichick and pushing down the GOAT. To me, is still going to be Vince Lombardi down to number 3 because Andy Reid's that damn good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane, man. Insane. Before we get out of here, because we've been on this for a minute, I wanted to transition and talk a little basketball really quickly.
I don't get to talk about Jerry Jones hiring.
Oh crap, yo,
Oh.
we ain't getting off football today.
Man, we like to laugh about the Cowboys, man. That's what I meant to tell you. We don't talk about them on this show. We like to laugh at them.
Can I just laugh? Can I just, dude? I haven't had a chance to laugh at.
Well, look, like I say all the time, the Cowboys, if nothing else, they're hilarious. They are absolutely hilarious.
Coach, he literally sat at the press conference and said, "I know this is a risky, like you don't think I know how to take risks. This guy's never coached before. Like, how you gonna sit there and introduce your coach and basically shit on him?"
Yeah, it's like it's like hey everybody, I know this guy stinks, but it's like but I don't care, It's like
I don't care. I take risks. I believe in osmosis. Osmosis is gonna win me. Like you are literally paying your quarterback. He has almost a $90 million cap hit.
Yeah.
No,
that ain't that again. That's not Dak's fault. That's not Dak's fault.
No, Dak gonna take the
It's not Dak. It's not Dak's fault.
It's like an $86 million cap hit.
The funniest thing to me was when Jerry was like, "Hey, I know what it is to get out of my comfort zone, but I hired the guy that was already in the damn building."
Yeah, exactly.
Getting out of my comfort zone, like, yeah, man. This dude, we still got a parking spot, but I'm getting out of my comfort zone.
Can you blame Brian Schottenheimer?
You cannot blame him.
Like he got no job interviews, nowhere.
If Jerry Jones calls me right now, I'm going to Dallas to coach them brothers.
Exactly.
It's like, man, I hate to say it like that, but it's like, man, Brian Schottenheimer, he been an assistant so long. He like the dude in the club and you got shot down by every girl in there. You find that one is like, oh yeah, you can take my number. Yeah, now he like, oh yeah, I got a job now. I'm a head coach.
I got it now. I'm cooking it all.
I'm good,
man.
Dude, he would rather watch this team suffer so that he could say it's all because of me. I did it.
Yep.
Like I don't want to belabor on it. I mean, I do because I love the misery of Cowboy fans, but it's just like it's sad at this point. Like it's sad.
What's
all I'm gonna say, because I can't say it on Al, but man, watching that interview and you look at Steven was over here looking like when Chris Rock was talking about Michael Jackson and the kids. Like you don't get up out of here. Like Steven looked like he was almost ready to declare Jerry incompetent. Like he was like he looked like he getting a little pissed.
But there's a coup that needs to be taking place in Dallas, and I don't think Steven got the nuts to do it.
No, he
doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
But somebody can probably talk him into it. Somebody will talk him into it.
As bad as that hire was, the Liam Cohen hire was worse.
Oh God!
Gee. The whole drama is like, is this guy even worth? Is this guy even worth all of the drama? It's like the Bucks might be better for it. Him not being there, to be honest, because like I don't believe this guy is even worth all that drama. And it's funny because it's like I was talking to a friend of mine. He was like, "Man, I gotta find another team." He was like, the Jaguars just continue. Like he's a Jaguars fan. God bless him. My boy Steve, not other black Steve. My boy, he's from Jacksonville. And he's like, man, I can't root for these motherfuckers anymore, man. He said the Jaguars continue to play in our face.
Yes.
He was like, I have to find another football team to root for before next season. I was like, man, hang in there, Steve, man. It's like, but it's just, it's just, Unc, I know you probably got something to say about this, but it's like, I don't even think this guy's worth all this. And then he does the little Duval thing at
Yo,
the
that
press.
was
I'm just
so
like,
bad,
it's
dog.
so cringe.
Like,
That was so cringe. I was like,
I mean,
good
like, I
grief.
don't. First of all, I don't get it. I don't know what that means. Like, that's probably some
Duval
young
County.
hip hop term.
Duval County, like
Duval
Jacksonville, and
County.
it's a thing that they do. They yell Duval.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
well, first of all, how do you know it? And second of all, like, listen, I think if anybody can make Baker Mayfield a Pro Bowler, I think you got a little bit of credibility, but like you just lost all of that by going
Mike Evans
Duval.
made Baker Mayfield a Pro Bowler. Let's be clear on that. Okay.
Say that again.
Made him a Pro
Mike
Bowler.
Evans.
But
Throwing
the-
to Mike Evans and Chris
Oh
Godwin.
no, that'll make you a
Yeah.
Pro Bowler. But this guy was straight trash for years, and like he was a journeyman, and like he's been a Pro Bowler the last 2 years. So
Okay, because he's got two Hall of Fame receivers. Hell, I could be a Pro Bowler with two Hall.
no. Listen. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I mean, you got to give a little bit of credit, right?
Okay,
Like this guy was a walking disaster.
He's a good offensive play caller. Here's the thing:
Mhm.
Shad Khan has been trying for years to make
Yeah.
the fans not come to those games so he could move that damn franchise to London.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just another example of what him doing that. Okay, he could have hired better coaches. We all know this, but he waited until all the good coaches he could have hired were hired, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to go get this guy Liam Cohen. Oh, I should have fired my general manager 17 days ago. Oh, you don't want him here? Okay." Shad Khan wants to move this franchise to London. He's been trying to move this franchise to London for years. It's going to happen because this Liam Cohen thing is going to be such a dumpster fire that by game 4, the stadium will only be a third full.
It's a third full now.
It's third full now. I mean,
It's going to be empty, and he's going to get to move that team.
Hey, but I had to go to them, man. Hey, since we talking about it, man. Eberflus. That was I can't. Hey, the Cowboys is so funny. They had Eberflus right after that.
They just brought him back home. Jerry was like Matt, you want to come back? Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Man, dude, hey, look, that shit was just so funny to me. I'm like, bro, not only did you hire Schottenheimer, then you back down and hire Eberflus.
oh, Eberflus is there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the DC.
He's DC.
Wow.
I missed that whole hire.
If this don't
Wait,
say
you-
shit show in the making.
So Jerry is senile now. Jerry done went around the bend. He damn senile now. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny because it probably was like, Brian, do you think your dad can come and help us out? He was like, Mr. Jones, my father's been dead for 3 years. You were at the funeral. Mr.
Yeah, it's
Jones.
like,
Remember?
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
hired. You're hired.
Oh yeah, but I know what I'm doing.
Right in the casket.
Yeah.
Do you believe in osmosis, son? You do? All right, you're hired. Get the fuck
Somebody go
out.
dig his ass up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
And,
yeah,
like
I'm
3
sure
days
that's how the
later.
conversation
Hey, hey, Brian, when's your dad gonna show up?
He's like,
I've been waiting for
Mr.
him to
Jones,
come in."
again, my father has been dead for 3 years. You were at the funeral. Like,
Oh.
he.
Okay, all
Oh
right,
man,
right.
that
1
stuff
week
is too
later.
funny.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brian, you
But
talked
you know
to your
what?
dad
Hey.
lately. I got a couple questions for your dad.
Yeah.
I gotta say this though while we talking about it, because like Eric said, we don't shy away from shit, man. It did kind of irk me a little bit that there was only one minority hire all of them.
Dude,
Even in coordinator,
hired
you'll
'cause it was the
not
Jets.
see it.
Say
Huh?
that again, Chandler.
Only reason he got hired because it was the Jets. And I had told y'all, I didn't think he was even getting a job. If it hadn't been for the Jets, Aaron Glenn wouldn't have got hired.
I
mean,
thought,
he got
the
hired,
Saints
though.
were gonna hire him. I
The
thought
Saints were ready. The Saints were ready to.
The Saints were ready. He turned the Saints down.
I don't believe
He
that.
turned them down.
Gentlemen, hold on a second. Breaking news. Hold on a second. Mike McCarthy is not coaching in 2026.
Mike McCarthy ain't never coaching again, bro.
He wasn't coaching last year, was he?
With the Dallas, ain't gonna never get another job.
Was he coaching
He's not
last
coaching
year?
in 2026. He said he's gonna focus on the hiring cycle in 2026. We're not coaching the NFL season. That was according to Tom Pelissero from Rap Sheet. So
Yeah, okay.
Jerry didn't let him coach the last 5 years. What are we talking about? Come on. No,
I mean,
Aaron,
the only one
Aaron
that's left
Glenn
open
had
is
an interview.
Jacksonville.
He was going to be in New Orleans. He turned them down to take the Jets job. That's what I heard.
I understand he was going to get an interview. I don't believe they were going to hire him.
Wow.
No, the Saints
listen.
the Saints were pretty high on Glenn. I mean,
Yeah.
you're entitled to your opinion as we all are, but it's like I feel like he turned the Saints down.
That's what I
Because
felt like. You know what?
I feel like
I feel like the best thing the Jets did was hire that man.
And
I don't think nobody want to go to New Orleans right now. They kicked that can so far down.
I don't know about that
Not
one.
looking pretty.
We say? Oh,
then they turned around, and the guy he wanted as his GM, they didn't get. So they went and got a guy that he doesn't know and has never worked with. So once again, we have unevenly matched people in the Jets front office, which means that what? We're going to have a power struggle within a year and a half.
I feel like that is overstated and overblown. You don't need to be like it's like you form a working relationship. You don't have it doesn't have to be a guy you know. It's like you talk about the good old boy system and how it needs to be broken down. It's like you don't always got to be somebody that you know. It has to be somebody you can sit down and work with.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, Steve. Is I'm not saying it had to be a friend. What I'm saying is there were people that he had worked with before, right? That he wanted as GM, so they would come in and they would be on equal footing because they both had the same vision.
Mm-hmm.
You now gave him a guy who doesn't share his vision, okay? Because this dude is coming from a Sean Payton nonsense. Aaron Glenn is not coming from that nonsense, okay? And I don't miss me with he's from the Sean. No, he started out in the front of as a scout with the Jets, okay? Mm-hmm. He's not from Sean Payton's tree, so miss me with that one, okay? So this dude that you brought as the GM has one perception of how things should be. Aaron Glenn has another. They're not evenly matched. You have to match people. They need to have the same vision in order to work together. And this is the problem with the Jets. They do it all the time. They mismatch people. First of all, you should have hired the damn GM before you hired the coach. Okay?
No, I agree with that.
I agree with. Yes.
I think the Jets made the right move because of the person they hired. I think you couldn't wait to get the GM and then possibly lose out because the Saints were coming. They were coming for Glenn.
GM as soon as the season was over.
But we talked about I think it was that Sunday, right? Wasn't it Sunday? Like Aaron Glenn was in New York and they weren't going to let him leave without a deal.
I love Aaron Glenn, okay? I don't want to see him fail.
I don't either.
This is not going to end well.
I hope you're wrong.
In 2 years, y'all gonna start hearing the rumors about Aaron wanted this and Moogie wanted Magoo, whatever the hell his name is, wanted that. 2 years.
I hope not. Because I like Aaron Glenn. I think he gets it. He's a Jet, and when you're a Jet all the way.
Man, it's like Executive View the musical, man. I'm telling you.
No. But no, I really feel like the Jets made the right move by jumping on Aaron Glenn before the Saints could.
He's the right hire for the wrong team.
Okay.
Because we can't trust Woody Johnson. You know this. Woody Johnson is like James Dolan. I'm gonna keep my hands out. Yeah, okay, bro.
Until he puts his hands in there.
Okay, bro.
But I would have rather hired the coach. I would rather have hired the coach that's a good coaching prospect than to be left like the Saints right now or like the Jags and you hiring a guy who really didn't want to go there to begin with.
Right.
So I would much rather take that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The Saints gotta be the worst situation in the NFL right now. Yeah. Like it's awful down there, and I love to see it because I hate the Saints. Or should I say, I hate? It's like the Saints fans. Should I say, Larry? The Saints fans.
Don't go there with me.
It's like the Saints football team. Okay, Saints fans couldn't happen to a better group of people.
I've never met.
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this, Steve. Look, Cowboy fans are annoying. They're like a gnat. The Saints fans are like that one dude that you hate at your job and you can't wait to catch him in the parking lot to kick his ass.
Yeah.
And that's for real. People talk about the Saints fans, I mean the Cowboys fans a lot, but the Saints fans are so look,
Larry, we got 3 guys on here who have no idea what we
they
go
are
through with
so
these Saints
fucking
fans.
annoying.
So it's just like it's
Never
just
met one.
awful.
I
Huh?
met one.
No, because I like there's nothing worse. The only thing worse than a Cowboys fan is an Eagles fan.
No,
So
the only thing worse than a Cowboys fan is a Saints fan.
The
And that's
Saints,
real talk.
the Saints fans are the Eagles fans of the South. We'll
Yes.
put it like that.
Yeah.
They're obnoxious. They're loud, and it's like, why? Why are you so loud? Why are you so obnoxious?
You have never,
It's like shut up.
I lived
They
in
are like,
Louisiana for 2.5 years. Believe me, those Who Dat boys are insane. But
dude, they're the one fan base that is like y'all are notoriously the worst team for what 3 decades.
Mhm.
And now you got something new and you won one. Like they are so annoying. I'm gonna put it like this because I live in Houston and we got a lot of them. They will literally be doing a whole second line when they winning, and I'm talking about Trump is coming out. I don't know what they didn't pulled up to the bar. They got the whole 9 umbrellas, and the minute their team is losing, they ready to fight.
Remember when the Saints started 2-0, and
Yeah.
they was just like, oh boy, look at this. Like seeing that happen to them, it warms my heart. It really
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I just don't.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just don't understand, man. Eagles
Nah,
fans,
man, look.
Eagles fans. I mean,
let the
they're
Eagles
like,
not win the Super Bowl.
Go Birds.
no,
Go
seriously.
Birds.
If hell had an address on Earth, it would be at an Eagles fans' house. Like
Man, nah.
that's that.
I
Unless
like
they
the
got
Eagles. I think the Eagles fans are
tunnel
funny.
into New Orleans.
See, the Eagles fans are actually kind of funny to me, and I know you don't think that because but to me, as an outsider, the Eagles fans are funny. Saints
No,
fans are they're obnoxious
if
and
you
ridiculous.
have
And it's
to
like,
have
shut up.
a courthouse, basically a jail in your stadium, you're scum. Eagles fans are scum.
Barry, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you this is the difference. Dude, the difference is that the Eagles have a history of winning. The
No, they don't.
Saints were
No, they don't.
literally, dude. This is a true story. I literally had one of the Saints fans to ask me if they had made it to another Super Bowl, would they be considered a dynasty? And I bust out laughing in his damn face. I was like, bro, are you kidding me?
Eagles
Are
do
you
not have a
kidding me?
history of winning. They won 1 Super Bowl. Eagles fans.
Yeah,
But they
just like
went
the
to
Saints.
four.
The Saints won that 1 Super Bowl,
But
and it's like
what?
it just irks
Yes.
me.
The same thing with the
so
Eagles.
much.
What are we
'Cause
talking about
you
here?
gave them that 1 Super Bowl, and
But
it's like
they
they
went
feel
to-
like
The Eagles,
But
the Eagles actually,
nothing's worse than them boys.
but the Eagles have actually made it to NFC Championship games. Outside that one season, the Saints really have been, dude.
Right.
Nobody wants to go play in New Orleans, bro. I'm
I
just being
hate the
for real.
Saints because of Archie Manning. Because I'm sick of hearing people talking about Archie Manning like he was some great. First of all, Archie Manning never had to win a season. Let's start there. The Saints never had to win a season with him as quarterback. And the year after he left, with practically the same team and Earl Campbell on one leg, they made the playoff. Okay?
it wasn't it the first time they ever made the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
That was the first time they ever made the playoffs. Yeah.
Yes. So I hate Archie Manning. I hate Eli. I hate Peyton. The only one I like is Cooper because he never played.
I would love for them to go get them bags and dust them off and put them right back on their heads. I could love that more than anything on this earth. Like, yeah, go put the bags back over your heads, and
Yeah, man. It's like
in the dump.
they should make them go play in Tulane Stadium. They don't deserve to play in the Superdome. I don't know if anybody else been to Superdome. Larry, I'm sure you've been. The Superdome is a palace. It is a football cathedral. It is a beautiful place. It is one of the best places to watch a football game. The Saints don't deserve it. They don't. They don't deserve it. They need
I
to
didn't get a chance to go in. I was outside of it though.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, Larry, no, the Superdome is fantastic.
It's straight. They about to remodel it again, for the 80th time. But like I say, man, they
can't build a new stadium, Larry. You've been to New Orleans. I think most of it. Like
I've been to that area. It's all tight.
There's nowhere to build a new stadium.
No, there's
So
no
they gotta
build it in
go-
the Gulf. That's the only way you're gonna build it.
I literally stayed at a hotel right around the corner from there. So like,
Yeah, there's
I know,
nowhere
like
to build a new
nothing
stadium
around
down there. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm not like I say, I would love more than anything for the Saints to be, at the bottom of all bottom
I can't
divisions.
believe we sit here talking about the Saints.
No.
Well, y'all started it. Y'all started it.
Yeah, we can move on. We definitely can move on.
Yeah.
I got to go, fellas, because I got a long day tomorrow. Good to be on with y'all tonight, man. But I gotta go. I'm actually old and tired tonight.
Oh, you got my blood.
All right,
in you. You got my
CK, man.
blood.
Appreciate you,
Love
big
y'all.
dog.
Not the vamp going to bed.
Yo,
I'm
with
ready to go
that
to
being
bed too.
said,
Yeah, I
I'll tell
know,
you
I
what,
right?
I just want to say one thing, serious. Pat Riley, stop being Jerry Jones. Just
Oh
do
boy,
business.
we ain't even talk. We ain't even touch on that. Good
Just do
Lord.
business, man. Stop being like Jerry Jones and then.
I swear, if I
Man,
had
that-
more time on this
That
show,
man had one of them Bluetooths over there. He got his testosterone up.
ah,
How you gonna get fired on your day off? How you gonna
Shit,
get fired?
man, Pat feeling himself, man. Like I say, he over eating them Blue Chews, man. And say, you know what? Hey, teach these young bucks something. Hey,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna
got me.
show them some.
Yeah, he
Yo,
probably like, all right, Jimmy, you meet 1-on-1. You beat me,
Yeah,
you get to go. It's
yeah,
like,
man. You know that whole situation remind me of. And I know we hate to keep giving people plugs on this show, but dude, y'all remember when what was it Adam Sandler when he was Happy Gilmore and he got into the fight with what's
Shooter
with Bob,
McGavin.
Bob Barker.
with Bob
Yeah,
Barker.
Oh, Bob
Yeah,
Barker. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, man, Pat, you Bob Barker, man.
Yeah.
You want to go fight this young dude
The
real quick?
price
Yep.
is wrong, bitch.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
like Pat, just dude, it's not 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's
You
not
don't get to send you
1995.
don't get to
Yeah.
resign via like sending a fax. You're not gonna send a
No.
fax to the management saying you quit. Like, dude, just trade the guy, man. Get him out of here. It's it. It's over. Just trade him. Like, you know what I mean? Like the situation's just getting worse. Like Spoelstra's had enough of it. I know what's this Bam's
man,
had enough of
Yeah,
it. Like
the
everybody.
whole
Yeah,
team
it's.
has had enough.
they've
But
had
see,
enough. It's a toxic situation.
I don't know. I don't know if we touched on this like earlier or like in another show, but why? I think maybe Barry might have said like, why does it always end bad with Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mentioned it.
Yeah. Maybe like it always ends like this with Jimmy Butler. It just
yeah,
never
it's
like
always him. It's always
yeah,
him. He's the
yeah,
common denominator. No question about it. But at this juncture, just get rid of him.
yeah. Just
Just
get
get
rid
rid
of
of
him.
him. Let him be somebody else's fucking problem. That's how you got to treat him.
Exactly. It's like I don't see, but Pat Riley doesn't want to lose because Pat Riley, we know, is a super competitive guy, like ex-player, like so he doesn't want to lose this. He feels like if I trade Jimmy Butler, Jimmy wins, he gets what he wants. But it's like no,
Right.
addition by subtraction. Pat, you win by getting him out of there.
Yeah, you win because you're not going to pay him the money you want. You get out of that contract, you might get a pick or two out of it or a player, and then you're done. That's it. You're actually going to make more by getting rid of this guy. It's addition
But they,
by subtraction to your
they
point.
yeah, they lost their leverage though, because no
Yeah,
team's gonna be
they
like,
had no leverage there.
yeah, but
No,
no
they
team's
have
gonna
no
be like,
leverage,
yeah.
and they're coming down on their asking price, right, guys? Like they said they're
Yeah.
not going to ask for as much as they want. Like, but still,
Well, the Warriors are back in the
you
mix
don't
now.
want this guy back.
Exactly.
You don't want him back at all. You're going to get something back from him, regardless of what you trade. Just get rid of him. Just do it,
dude. But you know what? This is what I would say about that whole situation, right? Pat, it's almost like, bro, the times are passing by. He don't realize these young dudes. You know what they do? They all talk amongst each other.
Yep.
They all,
Mhm.
Pat handled it this way. Yeah, Jimmy just wanted out. He didn't want to trade Jimmy out. So now you thinking, oh, Miami is the destination. And when you go and try to sign these free agents, these young, they so clicky. They so clicky, and they will be like, oh, no. We gonna go here. We not gonna go to Miami because Pat's over there and he didn't want to please Jimmy. And he upset Bam. And now Bam, he probably didn't DM'd everybody telling them what's really going on over there. That's just the nature of the new NBA. But Pat has to come to that realization too. This isn't the old way of doing stuff, right? Because not even just Jimmy. Remember when the rumors first came out about Jimmy and Jimmy being happy, Jimmy wanted to be traded. You should have traded Jimmy then, right? But Pat was like so adamant. No, I want multiple players and multiple picks. How many times have we saw in the last 2 years of really good trades that were actually proposed to him and they wanted Tyler Hero? Tyler Hero ain't that good, Pat. But Pat wants your best player and picks for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero not that good.
I mean, it's the same thing with the Lakers and Reeve.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a very
yeah,
similar
yeah. But
situation.
this is
Where
what
like, yeah,
that came from. Yeah, it's like, dude, if you could, if the Lakers could move Austin Reeves and improve what they need to improve it, they won't do it. Because they're gonna be like, no, we're not moving Austin Reeves. And the only way we're gonna move Austin Reeves is if we get some other superstar player to come back in return.
Jimmy
That's
Butler.
not gonna happen.
hmm
That's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
That'd be a
like it's
disaster.
like Jimmy Butler, Los
That'd be a
Angeles Laker.
disaster and a half.
I
Yeah.
would love to see it because I know it's gonna be an epic failure.
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be a
All day.
disaster.
It would be about 2 weeks before him and Braun are like fighting at mid court in the middle of a game.
Hell yeah.
Like yeah, like literally like wrestling at mid court, like because it
Mhm.
wouldn't. Yeah, that would be bad.
And AD would
Yeah,
be crying and saying,
Yeah.
"Man, why we
Jimmy
got
be
to
like,
kill on?"
that's why your son's a little bitch.
yeah, and then
There we are.
Man,
yeah,
don't even get me started on that dude, man. How you gonna
yeah.
come out?
Let's not.
Now, yeah, look, we actually
Look,
want to talk sports here. We don't want
look,
to.
Let's not.
I'm gonna just say it, man. How you gonna come out and talk about Wembley's overhyped for defensive player of the year, dude? If you don't shut the
I don't. I don't want to talk about him.
I'm
Not
like,
doing
man,
that. Not doing that. Not doing
you be
Nah.
that.
over here making boys make business decisions on basketball courts, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, as much as I hate to admit it, like Wimby he's a god, he's an alien. He is
Yes,
Yeah.
he just he like it is like whatever. I just wish he didn't play for the Spurs because
like
it's
I say,
like good lord.
Wembley
Hey,
defense so good, dudes don't even want to shoot floaters.
I know.
Like, no, get that shit going back in my
Hey,
face.
but did you guys see the Knicks got 2 starters on the All Star team?
Who?
Nobody cares about the Knicks.
Who cares about the damn
Nobody
Knicks?
cares about the Knicks.
We are the New York Knicks.
Look,
With that being said, we are out of time, ladies and gentlemen, man. It's been a great show.
Yeah, so
You
but
know
yeah,
what?
about that.
Time to get you guys
Yeah,
out
it's
of here.
like
Coach,
yeah, it's like yeah,
Coach, give me
it's
a
like
plug.
it's,
Shut it down, big homie.
start getting your stuff together for your Knicks show, man. It's not the place for that.
here you go.
Anyways,
Here you
Coach,
go.
give me
Here
a
you go.
plug and
Here
shut
you
it
go.
down, big homie.
Here you go. Yeah. All right. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Go away, New York. Go away, New York. Go away. But anyway, look, another successful boardroom meeting. Got 3/4 of the launch pad here. Barry, you more than welcome to drop by next time we get a launch pad going. Uh, like
Anybody
you
think
know
about
what?
no damn launch pad? Shit.
You know what? It's funny because it's like I can think of 1995 reasons why we can talk about the Rockets and not the Knicks. But um just a random number. Um but like I will say this yeah um y'all like keep rocking with us, man. If you see the link, share the link. YouTube, X, Spotify, Instagram. Make sure you get this out there, man. Like make sure you help us out, man. And as I always say, God is good.
All the time.
Time.
Make sure you drink
I
your
ain't,
water.
I
Water
ain't saying it.
is
I don't give a
life.
damn. I don't care. I ain't saying it. I ain't saying it. God damn it.
And ladies and gentlemen, unlike John Starks in Game 6, back in the finals, please get them dubs, get them dubs up because Wu Tang is for the children. I'm out. Bye, Barry.
I hate you so much. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
Snap. You
Son
know
of
what,
a
Larry, man, it's
bitch.
been a good one, man. Give me a plug and shut it down, big
Man, look,
homie.
it's hard to follow us, Steve, man. Hey, all I'm gonna say, man, look, Barry, last time I checked, man, 1995 was more recent than 1972. Yeah, the Knicks, the Knicks are like the Cowboys of the NBA, man. Overhyped.
Wow.
Man, but yeah, man, it's always a pleasure, man. Like I say, man, y'all keep everybody keep rocking with us, man. Keep putting us out there. I see, man, we gaining traction more and more every week. Like I say, man, we gonna keep coming with more content. Another launch pad coming down the pipes. Hopefully, these Rockets gonna keep holding it down. We'll be back in the building. But like I say, man, always pleasure and privilege, man, hanging out with y'all fellas, man. This be the highlight of the week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming through and kicking it with us, Larry, man. I'm looking forward to doing more shows with that guy, man. Launchpad is going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, man. So looking forward to that. Villain, another one in the books, my guy, man. We got a big weekend ahead of us, man. We've been busy. Talk to me, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning on doing a show for the Royal Rumble. We got a lot of videos that we put out on our socials, previewing that stuff and talking about Saturday Night Main Event. So we're definitely going to have something cooking for that. Obviously, we'll have the Super Bowl coming. I'll probably have a Knicks show at the halfway marks at some point. Get some of my people in here. It's, goddamn your Launchpad. It's that Knicks tape. It's that Bing Bong. We're gonna be talking about the Knicks. And all that good stuff. But listen, now we're having a lot of fun doing what we're doing. Check us out on all of our social media platforms. Check us out here on YouTube and on Facebook where we have our live shows. All winning up, we're doing a lot of fun, man. Shout out to everybody. And hey, listen, I'll be remiss if I didn't say it. Serious. In 2 days is my son's 12th birthday. Happy birthday, little villain. Love you. And I'm out.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Villain. It's your boy Sirius repping that 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege and a pleasure doing this show with everybody. I always say this, man. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us. If you're seeing the link, sharing the link, if you're popping up on us on our social media platforms, whether that be TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right here on Facebook, wherever you're finding us, man, we appreciate it. Happy birthday to the mini villain, man. Looking forward to seeing the good things about him and what's going on that way. Shout out to my friends at Nonsense and Deep Thoughts. My homie Trey out in Texas doing his thing with his sports podcast. Looking forward to partnering with that guy here in a couple weeks, man. I will say this, man. God is good, even though some people in some situations are not. I'm thankful for this opportunity to do this. But in the midst of chaos, I'm not going to preach at you, but God is good. With that being said, God bless. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.